Last week, we discussed about conflicts. We discussed about what causes conflicts. We discussed about a few ways by which we can handle conflicts. Today, I'll take you deeper. Today's session will be divided into 3 parts. First part, where I take up some questions which has come to me about the conflicts individuals are facing in their life. Then today I will discuss with you a very powerful matrix, a 3x3 matrix, by which you will kind of understand where are you and why you cannot but avoid certain conflicts because of the personality you have. And then we will complete today's life lesson with a very beautiful, deep, serene process, a very deep profile, very deep, light process. So if you're ready for a beautiful life lesson, I'm ready to begin. Let me straight away first take the questions that have come in conflict. Okay, let me read the first question that has come. Dear sir, I was missing our conversations badly for a few time. Okay, I was under the trap of ego and anger, which leads my anger. Okay, a person is dominating me again and again. I get in the trap and showed my anger. As soon as I realized, I apologized the person and saved my relationship. Okay, this is all due to the learnings from life lessons. Thank you very much. But the problem is still there. I can't bear the person. And I don't have any special respect about her. But the relationships are not meant to break, so I'm in between. I don't know handle this situation. Please help. I am in a big conflict. In other words, the question is, I live with a person whom I can't bear. And I cannot avoid that person. So it makes me angry every now and then. How do I deal with this situation? There is a method of handling impossible situations. You project yourself into the future. Let's say you project yourself 5 years ahead or 10 years ahead. And in that projection, 5 years, 10 years down the line, you are seeing yourself living an extraordinary life. And then from that time, you look back to find what are the choices you made today which helped you to reach there. Let's say, for example, I am in college and I don't know whether I should work or I should start my business. My family gives me some backing, but then they say, do whatever you feel like. And I'm completely confused. Now, my confusion often comes from what is comfortable and what is uncomfortable. I'm not able to be very objective about my own situation right now. So I project myself into the future. 10 years down the line, I am a very, very successful person. I have a beautiful house, lots of employees, buzzing work. Every now and then I get interviewed by newspapers. And I ask myself, what decision 10 years ago took me over here? Now I'm not thinking about the present from the perspective of what is comfortable for me or what is easy for me. So the question is, what will lead me to a greater success? Now I detach myself from that which is comfortable or easy or attractive, and I devote myself to that which gives me great results. So whenever I'm able to project myself and then look backwards, I become objective because now my decision making filter is what will give me what I truly want from life. This will often work. So let's say you are staying with somebody who makes you very, very uncomfortable. Let's say they are rude. Let's say they also backbite. Let's say they also talk wrong things about you. Now project yourself into the future. 5 years down the line, you are a very happy person. You have a lot of people who admire you. You are rocking in life. Now ask yourself what decision you took a few years ago which has helped you to reach there. Here are a few possibilities. 1, you just focused on things which are important to you, and that which is not important to you, you kind of made peace with it. 2, you decided to build relationships with that person and you started validating them every day. And nobody wants to upset a everyday source of validation in their life. 3, you attempted to find out what is causing the other person to be aggrieved with you, to be upset with you. And is there something that you can do about it? Let's say something as simple as you are sleeping late. And that is making the other person angry. Can it be solved? Would you like to solve it? 4, you decided to completely ignore that person and celebrate all the good things that you have around you. Now, when you take these decisions, there will be one big but which will come. But they should not do that, na? But they should understand me, na? But they should give me space, na? But I should have the right to take my decisions, na? Yesterday, with a darling life schooler, Amruta, I was saying, often the biggest enemy you have in your life is this word called should. This should happen, this should not happen, that should happen, that should not happen. This person should do this, that person should do this. Your shoulds have no solution. The more should you have, the less peaceful you are. The more should you have, the more anxious you will be. The more shoulds you have, the more superior you feel. The more shoulds you have, the more like a victim you might feel. I am doing so much work, but they are not taking care of me. They should now feel like a victim. Why are they not understanding? They should take care of their health. Now feel superior. But the shoulds never work. They should have respected me. They should have been graceful. They should not have cheated me. They should have spoken properly. All that means is you want to change things which cannot change. I agree with you. Russia should not have invaded Ukraine. अब चलो उसके ऊपर बहुत बहस करते हैं. They should not have done this. They should not have done this. Now what changes out there? What changes out there? Nothing changes out there. So just be alert how many times you use the word should in your conversation. The more number of times you find yourself using the word should, I can guarantee the more you feel conflicted. This world is not driven by right and wrong. You see a young deer and you see a tiger hunt that deer. Now what would you say? The tiger had other alternatives. It should not have eaten this deer. Can you change anything about it? No. Your shoulds will only make you miserable. It's not about right and wrong. Life is not about right and wrong. Life is about understanding the situation and making the most of it. In our scriptures, if right and wrong could not win, purely because it was right and wrong, then how will you and me win in life just because of right and wrong? How to win? I will help you today. But first understand, your biggest enemy is this word called should. How often do you use the word should? Quite often. So project yourself into the future. Drop the word should and find out what you did today by which your future will be great. Very simple. What can you do today which has the chance of giving you a brilliant future? And remove the word should in your thinking. It will lead to some beautiful options for you. Next question. Today's life lesson was pretty intense. I like the way these two words come together, pretty and intense. I don't know if that which is intense can be pretty. Pretty normally is very calm, serene, relaxed when we say something is pretty, right? Pretty intense. Interesting. Now they have given themselves marks. I can understand and label my emotions, 8 out of 10, etc., etc., etc. But in conflicts, how can I make someone feel comfortable? My conflicts are not arguments. But when someone snaps at me or passes rude comments, I feel the conflict, brackets, irritation arising. But I also understand that it's their nature, yet I fall for it again and again. Have you realized in 2 sentences you have used 4 buts? You seem to be really fond of buts. I mean, I'm speaking about the English word but, not that physical but. 4 buts in 2 sentences. And I can visualize you saying, but Naren, that's not the point. It very beautifully speaks to us about the conflict that you have. Fundamentally, in a conflict, there is a word but. I love my wife so much, but she does not respect me. Now there is a conflict. I work so hard, when I come back home, can't I get some peace? I have told them, but they don't listen. Conflict. So besides the word should is your enemy because you're attempting to change what is not in your control. But is a proof of conflict. So the question is, how do I deal with these conflicts? Understand their fear, which makes them like this, and develop some kind of a resistance shield that whatever they say, it should not affect me. My God, she's seeing a lot of Marvel movies, I can say that. How do I deal with these conflicts? Okay. Here is a very beautiful and a very deep answer that I first gave in 2000. And I was so proud of myself when I gave this answer in 2000. There's this student at bottom, her name is Ulka. And Ulka asked the same question. My mother is so rude towards me. Whatever I do does not seem to satisfy her. My father loves me, my sister loves me, my friends love me, but I don't know what's wrong with my mother. She is always rude, as if she did not want me at all in life. You know, she always treats me like that unwanted child who's born and you don't know what to do with that child. Very, very rude. I don't know from where a beautiful question came, and I asked her, is she rude only towards you, or rudeness is her way of life? When things don't work out according to her, does she become rude? Or is she rude only with you? With the whole world, she's absolutely brilliant. Ulka thought about it just for a moment and said, no, now that I think about it, she's rude with my father. She's rude with the servants. She's rude with me. In fact, she's even rude with her own parents. I said, that means it's her nature. And if that is how they know to handle situations, it is not about you. She is not rude towards you. Rudeness is her way of dealing with life. Now, this you have to accept and you have to move on. So, if rudeness is someone's method of living life, then nothing much can be done by you. 2, another very powerful question which can help you in these scenarios is, in the right moment, when the context and situation is right, ask that person that sometimes it means what I do seems to upset you. And then you say things in a little harsh tone. Tell me one change that I need to bring within me, which will make you a little more loving towards me. Ask them, what is that one change within you, which will change the way they look at you? One change. Don't say, tell me all the changes you want. Are baapre, they might give you a big bucket list. Ask for one change. Let them create a priority in their head. It can be something as simple as they might say, you don't work hard at all. And that really infuriates me. Or it could be that you don't cook. You should cook. Or it could be you don't take any responsibility. Or it could be you don't exercise and remain fit. Chances are they have some legible reason. Something about you is frustrating them and you are actually on the wrong path. Now, if what they are saying is legible, then it's our duty to change. I got a shock in my marriage about 15 years ago. I really believed I'm an extraordinary husband. And one of those days, God knows what happened to me, I asked Bharti this question. Hey Bharti, what kind of a husband I am? And what is the answer I was expecting? Extraordinary. What is the answer she gave? You're okay. With this kind of facial geography also. You're okay. So what? I'm okay? In my head, I have a list of things that I'm doing right as a husband. First reaction was rudeness. I was upset. And the first thought was, nothing will ever make her happy. Nothing will ever satisfy her. Jitna bhi karna hai, kar lo, kuch nahi hone wala. First thoughts. And after the egoistic thoughts were over, the second series of thoughts began. Let me ask her and let me pin her to a question and prove that she's wrong. But I realized that's not going to work because that is going to make the situation ugly. After some time, I asked her, darling, what is that one reason for which you believe I am an ordinary husband and not a very good husband? She said, every day you tell me at least 3-4 times, this is not okay, this is not okay, this is not okay. Looks like you are only interested in finding my faults. Now, a person who's only interested in finding my faults, how will I say they are great? I said, give me an example. She said, we are driving on the road. I am driving the car. I also know we have to park. And suddenly you will say, thoda left laga. Arey parking aage milega na, gaadi left mein rakh. Kitna instruction? If you don't instruct me, do you think I will not park and from FC Road I'll come back to Kalyani Nagar because we did not get a parking space? छोड़ दो ना, रहने दो ना, करने दो ना मुझे. I will manage. Again, my first reaction was, मैं इतना interfere नहीं करता है. That was Saturday. Next day we went as usual on a small drive. And Niru and Mehak were very small. And I was shocked to find how many temptations I had to tell her, do this, don't do this, do this, don't do this, do this, don't do this. And I realized I was a horrible husband, not a okay husband also. Silma, kar kya raha hai? And I didn't even realize I am doing all this. I actually believed I'm an awesome husband. In many ways, yes. But in a very intrusive way, no. You don't like that restaurant where they give you 10 good things but 2 bad things. So I realized the source of conflict was me. And I immediately proceeded to change myself. So sometimes if somebody is rude with us or unhappy with us, chances are there is something about us which is not okay. Our heart craves for acceptance. Accept me the way I am. But we find it equally difficult to accept somebody else the way they are. When it comes to us, we want to be accepted the way we are. And when it comes to the world, we want them to change because we know where they should change. Now this may not be the best way to deal with people in conflict. So somebody is rude towards you, A, because rudeness is the way they approach life. And B, because something about you is really irritating them. If rudeness is their way of life, then don't take it personal. That's their nature. You can't be upset with a dog because it barks. You can't be upset with the giraffe because it has stripes. You can't be upset with the rabbit because it has big ears. You just accept them and see the beauty they have and move on. Similarly, if somebody is rude, you expect them to be rude all the time. And therefore, when they are rude, it doesn't hurt you because you are prepared for it. So that's the shield you're asking about. But in case something about you is not okay, and you want them to stop their rudeness, there is only one way. Send them to do the next batch. Jokes apart, bring those little minor changes which is required. Next question. This is interesting. This is not conflict with somebody outside, but this is within. Sometimes there is a conflict inside when I want to do one thing and have to do another. How to deal with that? How conflict is different from difference of opinion? When the conflict is in an important relationship, how do I decide whether to be firm on my stand or let it go for the relationship? Okay, 3 questions. No background, straight questions. I like this efficiency, but it leaves me groping in the dark. So let me take each one of these questions. Sometimes there is a conflict inside when I want to do one thing and I have to do another. How to deal with that? I would say everybody goes through this. When I want to do something and I have to do something else. I want to meet all of you and have the sessions inside Lifeschool's office. Nahi ho pa raha hai. Let me make the best of the situation. I want everybody to switch on their cameras when they come for life lessons. Nahi ho pa raha hai. So I focus on all those cameras which can be on, where I can make the most of it. We will never get a life where everything happens the way we want. Every now and then there will be enough things which is not happening the way we want. We should have the mindset to get the best of the situation. It is okay if everything does not happen the way we want. We have to be a little flexible. We should be able to let go. We should be able to recalibrate. It is okay. Everybody does that in life. Everybody. The maid who comes and works in our house may want to sleep that morning and does not want to go to work, but she does not have an alternative. In Bombaya language, the Malkin bomb maregi. As a result of it, she comes. Your child does not want to sit and study. They would like to see Netflix or play some online games. But thanks to your presence and your long speeches about the future of the world and possibly the future of the galaxy, the child puts aside their games and YouTubes and sits to study. I may want my hair to grow back and have longer hair than anybody else on this planet. But ठीक है, बंजर भूमि है, क्या करें? मैं और शर्मा जी जब मिलेंगे तो बस अपने हाल पे दो आंसू रो लेंगे. Manish Kotak is also close by, but time was good. Every now and then, all of us go through these things in life. It's okay. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. Learn to laugh about it and move on. Because at any given point of life, there are enough things to celebrate and there are enough things which is going right way in your life. So don't fret about it at all. Don't fret about it at all. I mean, who wants to grow old? Who wants to have creaking muscles? Who wants to feel tired? Nobody wants it. But it's a part of life. Which father wants to give away the daughter's hand in marriage and then not be an active participant as much as they have been all these years? But they do it. So every now and then in life, there will be situations where what you want and what you have to do is different. But that's the way of life. Don't make it a big deal at all. How is conflict different from difference of opinion? This is classic. Yesterday, I had 3 people who told me, whenever you start offline batches again, I want to do the program. And I tell them, I have no plans to start offline batches. Online batches are going great guns. We have people from all over the globe coming in to do the program, all over the country coming to do the program. There is no reason why I should deprive them of Let's Explore. So you have a difference of opinion with me. You think it's time we start offline inside the classroom. I believe I may not do that ever again. I see your point, but there is my point, and it's absolutely okay if we have difference of opinion. I may believe that this black t-shirt looks good. You may believe the black t-shirt is not the best way to sit for life lessons. Fair enough. I respect your opinion. Our opinions are different. When the difference in opinion gets mixed with resistance, then conflict happens. When difference of opinion are just points of view, then conflict won't happen. Let's say Kunj Tibrewal decides to go on a holiday and he tells Girish Khaitan कि चल यार छुट्टी पे जाते. Girish also wants to go on a holiday. Now Girish tells Manisha कि हम लोग सोच रहे हैं ऐसा ऐसा जाएंगे, कुंज भी चलेगा. Now Manisha might say, I want to go to the mountains. Girish says, I want to go to the beach. No, he's a big lover of vitamin D right now. So direct sunlight and bathing in the sun. So he says, वो पहाड़ों में कहाँ sun की तो गर्मी नहीं आती है, मेरे को बीच में जाने का. So there's a difference of opinion how holiday should be. So Manisha can say, okay, I'll do one thing. I'll find a few more friends who are interested in going for holidays. Is it okay with you? Giri said, perfectly okay. You enjoy the mountains, I will enjoy the beach. And it's absolutely okay. Then it's a very healthy respect for each other. There is a difference of opinion about where we should holiday. But you should do what appeals to you. I will do what appeals to me. And both of us will share notes. Now, in case in this situation, Giri says, मुझे जो करना रहता है तुमको तो कभी वो अच्छा लगता ही नहीं. 25 साल हो गए हैं, एक बार भी ऐसा आइडिया मैंने दिया है और तुमने हाँ बोला है, हुआ ही नहीं. इतिहास गवाह है. And like that, if he moves into one long-winded speech about how I am a victim, then it has become a conflict. I love what you want to do. It may not be what I want to do, but go ahead. That's a difference of opinion. And when it becomes you are wrong, it becomes conflict. So that's the difference between difference of opinion and conflicts. When the conflict is in an important relationship, how do I decide whether to be firm on my stand or let it go for the relationship? It depends on how important is the point of conflict. Again, yesterday in a counseling, I was telling them, you must be so smart in choosing your battles. If you fight, it must be worth the fight. The fight should not be because of ego. The fight should not be to prove who is in control. The fight should be worth the acrimony. Fight should be worth the bad atmosphere. The fight should be worth fighting. मतलब इतना important होना चाहिए, तब put your foot down. But if it is something which is not so important, जान देना. You remember about 2 months back in one life lesson, I was saying, what you become angry about tells me a lot about who you are. What you become angry about tells me a lot about who you are. Let's say if a mother is angry with the child के नाखून बड़े हुए हैं और उसके लिए 15-20 मिनट तक चिल्ला चिल्ली चालू है, कोई नाखून होते हैं क्या? दलीदर लोगों के होते हैं, जमादार भी इतना लंबा नाखून नहीं रखते, you know, and they go on a vitriolic attack. It is showing that control is important to you, not the nails. It is showing you would like to dominate your child and not grow your child. अभी काय का झगड़ा है इसमें? बच्चा जब सो रहा है काट दे, तो चिल्ला चिल्ली क्यों कर? Or give the child a work in which likelihood of the nail getting broken is very high. दे दो उसको प्याज छीलने के लिए. But is it worth the fight? And what is the outcome which will make you happy? And why is that outcome so important? Are things we need to think about. Really think about. So when the conflict is in an important relationship, how do I decide whether to be firm or let it go? It depends on what to you is important, where you have to put your foot down. I don't have the habit of putting my foot down. I'm very, very flexible. But there will be times when I'll say, nahi, ye to aise hi hoga, and nobody fights back. Because they know on many things I let go, and therefore that one thing which I want is given. And supposing somebody becomes a little upset about it, it's okay. It's absolutely okay. Very soon they will settle down. Now listen very carefully over here. If you are waiting for somebody to understand your point of view without getting upset, then you will be finding it very difficult. So let's say me and Vijay Rathi are having a conversation and I am saying Vijay कि यार अब तेरे को बैडमिंटन नहीं खेलना चाहिए. You should take up another sport like swimming. And let's say I have my science of why that should happen. And Vijay has his own science about why badminton is the best sport to be played. But I want Vijay to give up badminton and that too happily. Vijay might say, ठीक है नरेन अब इतना बोल देना चलो बैडमिंटन नहीं खेलेगा. But he is sad. If I say नहीं, you should give up happily. That's not going to happen. I should be okay if they are sad and accept it. Now this is the problem for many of us. नहीं तुम दुखी होके मत मानो, हंस के मानो. अरे जिस चीज से मेरे को प्यार है तुम बोलते हो उसको छोड़ दो और बोलते हो दुखी मत हो. ये कैसे होगा? टाइम दो मेरे को, एक हफ्ता, एक महीना, एक साल. I will outgrow it. But you'll have to give me time. Next. Happy evening and a big warm hug. Okay, a hug back to you. I have one question. With one of my close friends, very often there are arguments. He always has reasons for every discussion. Many times I follow your explanation of difference of opinion, but sometimes when he is completely weird in his logic, it really frustrates me. How many of you go through this? Somebody has very weird logic for whatever they say. This guy is saying it really frustrates me. How do I handle this? Please guide me. I'll tell you one Brahmastra in handling conflicts. What is the outcome the other person expects and why? What is the outcome the other person expects and why? Let me tell you a very beautiful thing which was happening at home about a month ago. Every Sunday after life lesson, me and Bharti go to buy the weekly groceries. Vegetables, fruits, and all the other stuff which is used in the kitchen. Many of that stuff which is responsible for my weight, we buy on Sundays. Niru, before he left for IIFT where he's studying his MBA, one of those evenings looks at his mother and says, you go for about 2.5 hours. This work can be done in 15 minutes on an app. Shall I buy everything for you on the app right now? And Bharti is like, no, I want to go. And he's saying, you want to buy bourbon biscuit. It's the same bourbon biscuit, no quality difference. You want to buy Ashirwad ka 5 kilo ka aata. वो उठा के घर तक ला के देगा ना आपको. Why do you have to go there, take it there, from there bring it to the car, from the car bring it up? I mean, it's Sunday. You and Papa both work hard the whole week. Why don't you just sit and chill? And Bharti is like, no, I will go. Now the mother and son had a happy conflict. Both of them are smiling, but both of them are arguing. And Niru could not understand Bharti's weird logic at all. कि क्यों जाना है? You want to buy from Reliance Fresh? I can order it on the app through Reliance Fresh. You are partial towards big basket. Okay, with this basket in a small or a big basket, it will come. But why do you want to go? Poor Bharti had no answer. But she was adamant, I'll go. Now, poor Niru is not married. उसको अभी तक opposite gender से पाला नहीं पड़ा. He has no idea about solid or weird logics. And poor fellow is not equipped to find out behind the action what can be the cause. Now, when you buy on big basket, you don't feel complete that you are doing a great thing for your family. It's very mechanical. On a Sunday, sacrificing 2 hours, not relaxing and buying something, makes me feel I'm doing some good things for my home. Relaxing at home does not give me the same feeling. And when I have those 100 apples in front of me, out of which I have to choose 5 or 6, it gives me that satisfaction that I did the best I could. Ordering for 1 kg online does not give me the same feeling. Out of the 6 apples that have come, I might look at one and have regret. यार ये quality ठीक नहीं था, मैं खुद जाके लेके आती थी ना, अच्छा होता था. Poor Niru could not understand and he's still laughing. Kya ma, why do you go for 2 hours? And my saying, तेरे dad कुछ नहीं बोलते हैं, तेरे को क्या problem? And he's saying, that's my problem. My dad needs to relax. I go. In about 1.5 hours, I'll go. And Niru, poor fellow, is not able to understand it at all. Why do you want solid logic all the time? It's okay. To hundreds of things, all we need to do is say, it's okay. Do you know some people who have the habit of putting all the lights on? When one light is enough, they still want to put all the lights as if Ram is returning to Ayodhya today via your house and all the lights should be on. मतलब ये feeling होती है कुछ लोगों के अंदर, सब lights on चाहिए. They don't understand the logic of people who switch on only that light which is required. And that fellow who switches only that light which is required does not understand the logic behind all the lights on. Their question is, दिख नहीं रहा है क्या? अरे दिख रहा है लेकिन मुझे ज्यादा लाइट चाहिए. अच्छा ज्यादा लाइट का क्या करोगे? पर मालूम नहीं क्या करूंगा लेकिन ज्यादा लाइट अच्छा लगता है. क्यों? मतलब क्या चीज पे बहस है यार? तू महीने का 1000 रुपया ज्यादा कमा ले, दे दे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी डिपार्टमेंट को 300-400. छोड़ ना. नहीं, but this is wrong. These are not wrongs which are worth a fight. This is just somebody's way of looking at life. It's okay. It's absolutely okay. Peace of mind, respect is more important than fighting for why 2 lights are more on and 2 less lights can serve the purpose. Chhod na, jaane dena, it's not a big thing. Do things by which the other person will feel cherished. They will feel loved. They will feel they are important. They will feel that you believe in them. They will explore their potential. These are important things in life. Light ka bill. And then somebody will come up with logic. In the packet is written only 6,000 hours. It is not just about electricity, but also about the environment. बाप रे, तू कल से गाड़ी चलाना बंद कर दे, सब जगह जॉगिंग करके जा, साइकिल में जा. So we have this habit of imposing our intelligence on others. मत कर. So I would say, even if they have completely weird logic, it's okay. Because those people find your logic very weird. And life is not about logic, right? Life is all about connections. Life is all about celebrations. Life is all about masti. Life is all about doing silly things. You know, such a funny thing. On our Instagram handle, on my Instagram handle, We have posted some really wise thoughts, very beautifully designed posters, each one of them which can be a printout and people can put it in front of their desk. And it has got about 15, 20, 25, 30, 40 likes. And I did one real silly dance. 12 seconds. Only 12-second dance. It has got 700 likes. Yeah. Words of wisdom, life can be transformed. 30 likes. Some silly dance move. And the dance teacher told me, give your shoulder. And I'm like, give my shoulder? What does that mean? So I moved my shoulder closer towards her. She said, "Aise nahi. You're standing, give your shoulder." This is called giving your shoulder. But if you give the shoulder, this shoulder should not go back. Then the movement is not seen. That comes from the hip. You're standing straight, give your shoulder. 15 minutes lag gaya, I could not give my shoulder. Then she gave up on my shoulders and said, do what you feel like. Then ultimately I gave my entire upper body. And then she realized this fellow can't dance. Then she said, can you do like this? That I can do. I'll imagine electricity is flowing through my body and I'll do something. 700 likes. It's not even a good dance. Weird logic. We live in a weird world. You and me both are weird. Can you imagine all the food which America has exported to India is super bad for our health? McDonald's. What is that? Burger King. क्यों खाते हैं? पालक की सब्जी खाओ. And we throw birthday parties for our children in McDonald's. Can you tell me what is the logic there? I really believe that all OTT platforms should not show anything after 9 o'clock in the evening. No serials, no night movies. रात को 2-2 बजे तक टीवी देखोगे, सुबह कैसे जल्दी उठोगे, कब एक्सरसाइज करोगे? What is the logic? We will make a movie with a budget of 150 crores. Why would a Sanjay Leela Bhansali make a movie on, what is that, Gangubai Kathiawadi? I mean, what's the objective of that movie? And with that money, so much can be done to make this country a better place to live in. किधर है logic? It's very weird logic for us to suffer, right? And keep thinking about in the past, this is wrong happened, and have enough shoulds. They should not have done that. They should not have done that. Weird logic, right? Why are we fighting things which we can't change? You and me are weird. We are actually weird. And so are others. Learn to accept our own silliness and others with their silliness. No need to prove they are wrong. Just celebrate their presence if they are good friends. And like our movement says, keep moving. Just because somebody is weird in one aspect of life, let's not develop a sense of superiority. देख क्या पागल है यार, क्या अक्कल ही नहीं है देख. Because if we look closely into our own life, we will find so many places where we are very, very weird. So it's okay if somebody is weird. You don't have to get frustrated. If you can change it, change it. If not, accept them for who they are. Okay, here is a question, and I think the person who has asked the question is present over here. Yes, they are. Conflict during fulfill the expectation of close person. Feel frustrated when opportunity not converted after many attempts and follow up. Major conflict is walk around me is, can I succeed in my career? Some of you may go through this every now and then. You want results, but results are not coming at the speed at which you want. Our job is to put our best foot forward. Our job is to focus on where we can improve. Results, they'll come when they have to come. Results are very nasty. Either they come before we anticipate or they come much later than we anticipate. Don't doubt yourself. If you know you are good, just give your best and enjoy the process. Sooner or later, something will work out. Now, the key is to enjoy your day during the struggles. You're going through a struggle right now. Find ways to enjoy your struggle. If nothing else, buy a beautiful scented soap for 150 rupees. And in this summer, enjoy taking bath twice a day. When will results come? I don't know. But I'm going to enjoy the entire process. And if I am not controlling the result, let me find ways by which I can make myself happy. We put too much value on success. We should put too much value on happiness. Now, don't postpone your happiness to when you succeed. When you are happy today, it is easier for you to succeed. So I can see some frustration and conflict. The results are not coming at the speed at which you want. Just be at it. History is filled with examples of people who struggled a lot before they got the breakthroughs that they want. So all you need to do is, A, are you doing your best? And B, can your efforts improve? Are you doing your best? Let's improve. Am I doing the best? Let me improve. Be in this loop. And sooner or later, success will come and kiss your feet. Now and then you might get a big breakthrough, but just be at it. I can give you enough examples to support what I am saying, but today we may not have the time for enough examples. Hence, I will close my answer with that question, with that thought, that give your 100% and find out where you can improve. Just do these two things. Success will come and kiss your feet. If we are having conflict with someone in relationships, and we have no respect for that person for some reason, that person is dominating you again and again and insults you. How do you handle this kind of a person and relationships happy for me? See, if somebody has disrespected you for a reason, we can work on that reason. Imagine I'm 115 kgs. And my father is fit, so he looks at me and he disrespects me. क्या पागल है, खाता रहता है, शरीर का ध्यान नहीं रखता है, सब बीमारियां आएंगी, बेमौत मरेगा. And my father keeps on being very sarcastic towards me. Oh, I feel disrespect. But he's disrespecting me because of certain lacuna in me. There is certain weakness in me. He has huge concerns for me. Over here, if I say I don't like him, he should not do this, all I need to do is become fit. If fitness actually makes a difference to me. कितना साल लगेगा? 6 महीना, 1 साल, 2 साल? तुम जितने भी ओवरवेट क्यों नहीं हो ना, 1 साल के अंदर तुम्हारी फिटनेस 1 नंबर की हो सकती है. And if you are not becoming fitter, then definitely you're not putting the efforts which is required. 100% you're not putting the effort that is required. Thyroid, no thyroid, this part is aching, that part is aching. There is a solution. You may not like the solution. So somebody might say, रोज सुबह उठ के 1 glass करेले का जूस पीना. Now you may not like that. You might say, सुबह mango milkshake पिया तो नहीं होगा. नहीं होगा. Now, if you don't like the solution, you might become overweight, even more overweight. And people will disrespect you even more. So if people are disrespecting you because something is wrong with you, then I need to set myself right. But if people are disrespectful towards me because of some ethical issues, or because of their greed, like, let's say one of you gets married, you are a girl, and your mother-in-law is very upset with you because you did not bring enough dowry. Let's say a classic old-fashioned situation. Now, in that case, if somebody disrespects you, there's nothing about you which needs to change. The solution is not to go and bring dowry, because then the second demand, third demand, fourth demand will come. Here it is somebody's greed, their need to dominate you. There you will have to take a standpoint, and there you will have to fight it out. Their acceptance won't work. The Britishers have no love with India. They wanted to exploit India. In that case, I have to resist. There is no other way. So either I resist or I withdraw. मेरे को ये लड़ाई नहीं लड़नी है. Namaste, alvida, bye bye. Or I have to stand there and fight and say, आ जाओ, किसमें कितना दम. But you cannot not fight, not change, and expect somebody to start respecting you. That is not going to happen. If you ask me to define my life in one single word, I would say conflicts. I will need to listen to this life lesson again and again. Now, how to handle conflicts inside? Many times I know that whatever I am doing is wrong, but I do so just to keep my inner peace. And then there are infinite conflicting thoughts. And when it is beyond my capacity, I simply withdraw or run. Again, over here, it is about what others should do or should not do. See, when I'm flexible and I'm adjustive, I should also be able to be peaceful and let it go. If I'm flexible and adjustive and I keep on suffering inside, then it's not actually flexibility. I just want to avoid an external conflict. The internal conflict is still there. So let's say I don't want to go for 2 hours to shop every Sunday with Bharti. But I go because if I don't go, she might get upset. Now for 2 hours, I will suffer. And when I come back, I will suffer. And I'll keep grumbling and keep mumbling. मेरे को सामान उठाना पड़ता है, क्या है यार, बच्चे ने बोला भी 15 मिनट हो सकता है, फिर भी 2 घंटा लगाती है. I may not have an external conflict because I want to run or I want to avoid that argument. But I've not been able to accept it. I'm not able to see the cuteness in it. And therefore, the internal conflict continues to rage. So either take a standpoint or let it go. One of those two things has to be done. If you can't take a standpoint and you can't let it go, फिर conflict खत्म नहीं होंगे. This is very easy. At work, how to handle conflicts when someone else takes the credit for my hard work and success. Be prepared for it. And most importantly, all of you who work in an organization, learn to develop your own cheerleading team. Learn to develop your own cheerleading team. When you work in an organization, you have to make your team. Especially if there is intense competitiveness, especially if there is a chance of somebody taking your credit, some people have to come together as a force. You alone will not be enough. In the corporate world, if you don't know how to do networking, if you don't know how to have a right flank and a left flank to pass things to you or to protect you, then you won't be able to do the best. And I'm sure some of you would have gone through the same thing. You have done a lot of hard work. You have sacrificed your life for the sake of your organization. And then somebody played some politics and you had to resign. Yeah, you had to resign, but because you could not create your own team. Or people who were there in your team were not strong enough. So it was not the right team. When you know you have to fight a battle, you need good generals, you need good soldiers. And this is the rule of life. Shivaji by himself can't do anything. Maharana Pratap by himself cannot do anything. You need horses, you need people. And if you don't do that, then you are a little incomplete in your war. I can always blame my boss, I can blame the management, I can blame my colleagues. But the fact is, I did not know how to create my own cheerleading squad. Learn from this, and in the future, wherever you are, drop this word called should. They should not have taken credit. Expect credit to be taken if you are seen as somebody who's weak and who can be exploited. It happens all the time. So many times in movies you will see somebody will come and say, I wrote the script, somebody has cheated my script. Somebody would say, I was actually the director, but Amir Khan took the credit of being the director of this movie. So you're not the first person who's going through this. It happens all the time. And people who are strong and who have a good network, they don't get exploited easily because others know कि ये अकेला नहीं है, इसके साथ में और 20 लोग हैं, एक से पंगा नहीं ले रहे, हम 20 से पंगा ले रहे. So one part of your work is to excel in your work. But the other equally important part in your work, if you are working in a cutthroat environment, is going to be create your own cheerleading squad. And then too, people will not come in the front, but they will only support you from the back. Let's take the classic case of what is happening between Ukraine and Russia right now. When Zelensky, who is the president of Ukraine, is willing to put up a fight, other people like Russia and Europe will support, but they will not engage in your fight. They will give you arms, but they are not going to come as soldiers. And if you're fighting against a bully like Putin, get ready to be exploited. Or become so strong that Putin can't dream of attacking you. So Putin won't dream of attacking China. Putin won't dream of attacking US directly. So somewhere if they attack Ukraine, understand they were thinking Ukraine is weak. People attack you only because they know you are weak. So be strong. Have those network. Have those connections. And be ready to fight your war, assuming others will support you and guide you, but they will not fight your war. that you have to fight for yourself. So others should support me. Should, dangerous word. It's not their fight, they are not coming. It's your fight, so you have to be ready. And this is the practical world we live in. Everybody on the planet would be saying, except a few Russians, that what Russia is doing is wrong. But nobody will attack Russia. Because everybody has enough of their personal interests in Russia. So if you have to face a bully, you have to be strong enough. Otherwise, the bully will attack you. How to handle conflict that arises when I confront someone who's intentionally provided incomplete information? Work in a way where you deal with people who match your expectations. Listen to the whole sentence again. Work in a way where you deal with people who match your expectations. If somebody is not matching your expectation and they are willing to learn, you can groom them. If somebody is not matching your expectation and does not wish to learn, it will always frustrate you. So over a period of time, learn to identify people who work to match your expectations. This is how any business organization is built. Again, listen to me carefully. Toyota all over the world has a single supplier policy. What does it mean? If it has to buy steel, it will buy only from one company, not from 5 companies. It has revolutionized vendor management with this concept called single vendor policy. All over the world, all people will tell you, don't depend on one person. Have 2-3 vendors for the same thing. So if Vikas Bhau has to purchase some car accessories, his father would have told him, एक के ऊपर कभी डिपेंडेंट नहीं रहने का, तुम 50% माल एक से लो, लेकिन दूसरे को 20% दो, दूसरे को 10% दो, दूसरे को 30% दो, ताकि कभी भी वो 50% माल वाला हमारे ऊपर हावी ना हो. Now, this approach comes from a lot of insecurity and a need that I will get exploited, I will get exploited, I will get exploited. It's based on fear. Now, Toyota, of course, is a smart organization, number 1 manufacturer of automobiles in the whole world. So, if they have a policy, it must make some sense. So I took a deeper dive into Toyota and I had a chance to interact with the Japanese fellow whose name I could never pronounce sitting next to me in an aircraft. And I asked him, can you tell me a little more about Toyota's single vendor policy? And he said, let's say if I have to work with Vikas Bhandari, who's going to supply me car seats for Toyota cars. And we have one vendor policy. So India mein jitna bhi maal kharidenge, sirf Vikas se kharidenge. Vikas needs to be transparent enough with me to say, I want to earn 10%. And he says, one car seat is going to cost you 5,000. Now, I will tell Vikas, we cannot afford to pay you more than 3,500 rupees. Now, let's sit and work together on how you can produce a car at 3,150 rupees. So that you can get that 10% margin when you are supplying the car seat to me at 3,500. So they will come to Vikas's place, they will sit with Vikas, they will visit his factory, and they will look at the entire cost sheet. And let's say Vikas is buying cotton from a source. And they will say, no, this cotton is not right, that cotton will work. Here we can save 6% cost. Here we'll pay 3% cost. Or we'll create an assembly line where the time taken to manufacture a car seat goes down from 20 days to 12 days. And therefore, you will save so much on overhead cost because our production is going up. Working with Toyota, Vikas will become so efficient. And Toyota knows exactly how much profit Vikas is making. There is nothing hidden. Everything is on the table. Now, Toyota does not have the manpower to run the car manufacturing, and that car manufacturing bit is too small for Toyota to focus. They are going to focus on their strengths, that is engineering, and they are not going to focus on car seat manufacturing. Now, they don't mind entering into agreement with Vikas for 9 years, 10 years, 15 years. And they're actually surprised that why will Vikas go somewhere and why will we leave Vikas and go somewhere? They might even say, why do you want to earn 10%? And Vikas might say, I want to earn 1 crore per month. Then they will say, okay, let's do one thing. You take 5% as income, but let's work on how that 5% can become 1 crore. So today, if I'm giving you order for 5,000 seats every month, let me work on how can I make it 10,000 seats so that your profit margin becomes 5%, but you still earn the 1 crore that you wanted. Now, they take about 3 to 4 years to okay a vendor. Unless there are ethical issues, people have worked with Toyota for 20, 30 years. 3 generations have worked, and they are producing only for Toyota, and Toyota is buying only from them. Now, why am I giving this example? Toyota knows that this is the kind of person with whom I can work. I'll visit 25 people, but I'll identify that person with whom I can work where my expectations match. And they also know I have only them as a vendor. I also know I have only them as a vendor. As a result of which both of us understand we will get the best out of each other. Tomorrow, Vikas wants to earn more. He can approach me and say, now I want to earn about 2 crore. What are the other possibilities? Do you need a vendor for any other product? Or can I also supply to the plant in Malaysia? That's how Toyota works. So it's easy for us to say, but that person is not right. This person is giving me half knowledge. And we tolerate those people because our base of thinking is fear. If we are a little diligent, and if we put a little effort in associating with the right kind of people, if we put effort in associating with the right kind of people, then your focus can shift to things which add value. Your focus need not be keep checking the routine. Starbucks does the same thing. They buy one source of coffee from one vendor in the whole world. So in Starbucks, if you are drinking cappuccino, now for 15, 20 years, they are buying from the same vendor. And somebody else comes and says, I'll give you 20% discount. They will say, no, it's okay. We don't want 20% discount. Because we are not doing this only based on money. There are 25 more processes that we have gone through before this vendor was finalized. And we are very happy by doing business with them. If they are earning money, I'm absolutely okay because I'm also earning as much money as I want. This is what is called as the symbiotic relationships. Where I'm not fighting against you. I'm not insecure. I don't have to make an ass out of you for me to make money. I'm making money because of the efficiency, the comfort that I'm giving to you and your ability to sleep at night because you're working with me. Every Sunday morning, you know when you come to life lessons, you will get some deep insights into life. You know there will be not a single Sunday where there will be a disappointment. Every Sunday there will be something significant. We need to have people like that around us. And to develop these vendors and relationships, takes diligence. It doesn't appeal to our ego because we want to control. इसको थोड़ा अभी पैसा दे, फिर दूसरे वाले से ज्यादा माल ले. इसका थोड़ा मुंह भर ताकि वो ज्यादा चिक चिक नहीं करे. This is our classic approach. And that is why we are not able to build relationships. And the relationship is only because of commerce. Somebody is making money from us, so they might say, hello Naren, how Naren, आप कैसे हो, अच्छे हो क्या, बच्चे अच्छे सब ठीक है क्या? But वो growth together वाला फिनोमिना नहीं है. वक्त पड़े तो गधे को भी बाप बनाना पड़ता है, काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग. इसको थोड़ा ऐसा बोला ना तो थोड़ा धंधा देता है अपने. You don't become a Toyota like that. So I would say, put efforts in building that ecosystem around you where you can focus on creating more and more value. I mean, let's think about it. Anil has been working in the sports industry for 50 plus years. But how much of his time still goes for purchase? And how much of his time still goes in managing accounts or in releasing payments or looking at finance? And in that time, if he invests in building relationships with people, organizations, sportsmen all over the country, how much more business will happen? His profits are where? Because very traditional, very classic, very old-minded way of doing things. अपना किसी को कुछ मत बताओ, लोगों को दबा के रखो, पैसे के दम पे थोड़ा सस्ता माल खरीदो या कटत के बेसिस में खरीदो. But then we have to do that work as long as we are in business और उसमें मजा नहीं है. So when it comes to people who give you incomplete information, it is also telling us that we are not being diligent enough to surround ourselves with people who can match our expectations. Are these people easily available? No. And that is what separates great people from ordinary people. If you put the effort to search for great people, you will become great yourself. You ask all the businessmen here, don't they follow this policy? 50 से 60% माल एक से लेने का, बाकी 2-3 को रखने का. कार में 4 चक्के होते हैं, स्टेपनी साथ में रखने का. And if I ask them, how well do you know their families? How well do you know what is their future growth prospects? How well do you know 6 months down the line what is the material they are coming up with? फिर क्या किया ये 15, 20, 25 साल नहीं, हमारे रिलेशनशिप्स बहुत अच्छे हैं. अरे हेलो हाय तो कोई बोलेगा ही ना, जबकि तुम्हारे थ्रू वो कमा रहा है तो तुमको हेलो हाय नहीं बोलेगा क्या? तुम उसी से खुश हो. पता नहीं है. So be diligent enough to create an environment around you and develop those relationships where we have people who can match my expectations. If possible, surpass my expectations. When there is a conflict between two people who are very close to me, how do I resolve it without hurting both or one of them? Ideally, don't move into it. Let's say, for example, classically, my mother and my wife don't see eye to eye. Now, if I go to my mother and attempt to resolve it, she will say, देखो आ गया अपनी जोरू का गुलाम. If I go to my wife and attempt to resolve it, she might say, nobody understands me. I'm all alone in this house. It requires openness from people for people to resolve their conflicts. The best thing is for them to have a conversation with each other. may be in your presence for you to ensure that they don't become unreasonable or they don't attack each other. Let them sit together and have a conversation. At best, you can be the referee, but do not ever become the judge. Don't say you are wrong, you are wrong. You are not the judge over there. You are just a referee. If a foul is happening, stop that foul from happening. So when two people close to you have a conflict, ideally bring them together, let them have a conversation, you be the referee, and let them solve it between themselves. Only in situations where they respect you like crazy, and whatever you say, they will listen with an open mind, can you work on them personally to have an open mind before you bring those people together. But you can't go to one and then go to the other and resolve conflicts. It doesn't happen. Because everybody will present their best side in front of you or their worst experience in front of you. You know, classically it happens with children. Your child will come back crying and saying, "Usne mujhe mara." And now you go to them and say, "क्यों मारा मेरे बच्चे को? उसने पहले मुझे धक्का दिया था। अच्छा, ये तो मेरे को बताया नहीं." So like a stupid fellow, you get caught up in a fight and you don't know the complete picture. Hence, it's important for you to bring those people together and have a conversation. Because when somebody says, "तुमने मुझे मारा," is हाँ, लेकिन तुमने मुझे पहले धक्का दिया था. And then that fellow, मैंने धक्का क्यों दिया था? 3 दिन पहले तुमने मुझे धक्का दिया तो तुमको याद नहीं है? Now they have some contrast to each other and some reason which you don't have. So individually you won't be able to resolve it. Bring them together, create certain boundaries. For example, the boundary can be, we will not talk about the past, we will only talk about the future. Tomorrow, if both of you need to have a great relationship, what do you need from each other? So you create a boundary. 3 दिन पहले उसने ही बोला था, हाँ बोला था, I understand, I heard it. Tomorrow, if you want a great relationship with this person, what would you need? Then they can say, okay, they should not be rude with me. Then you ask the other person, is it possible for you to drop your rudeness towards that person? So you can be a referee and guide it along, but you can't solve the conflict without their participation. We have a staff who always wants control. He has been rough to people for many years. How do I solve this? The most difficult people to solve are people who want control. Control means nobody is my equal. Nobody deserves my respect. I am the boss and whatever I say must be done. So it's difficult to resolve conflicts with people who want control. They only understand strength. People who want control only understand strength. So when you are strong, they may not fight with you. But if you are weak, they will definitely fight with you. So if it is a staff, what do? You put them in a position where they don't have decision-making powers. Therefore, you are taking away all possible controls from them. Now, since they can't take any decision, nobody has to go to them. And since nobody goes to them, there are no fights. In the earlier time, during the Birla families, this is what Babu would do. Let's say I'm working as senior president and they come to know that I'm not doing the right things, I'm becoming egoistic. What will Babu do? Babu will promote me. So I'm senior president, he'll make me director. But I will have no position of power. I will only have position which is titular. Matlab in title I have become director. बट ना मैं परचेज देखता है, ना मैं सेल देखता है, ना मैं एचआर देखता है, ना मैं फाइनेंस देखता है, ना मैं प्रोडक्शन देखता है, ना मैं मार्केटिंग देखता है, कुछ नहीं देखता. So what will Babu do? Babu will tell, now you are senior, now you are a director. Now I want you to be my eyes and ears in the company. सिर्फ देखते रहो क्या हो रहा है और मेरे को बोलते रहो. He has no work. And out of frustration, these people after 6 months, 8 months, 1 year leave their job. उनका सोशल स्टेटस खराब नहीं करना है तो उनको डायरेक्टर बना दो, लेकिन उनसे डिसीजन मेकिंग पावर सब ले लो. Nobody now has to go to these people. So I have isolated the cancerous cell and I have killed it. भिड़ेंगे नहीं. Neither do I need to prove to the world that you are wrong. I will just take away decision making powers. I repeat, when decision making powers are taken away, nobody has to come and report to you. There is no feeding of ego. You have zero control. So either you will leave and go away, or you are isolated and it won't harm the organization. So with this, we have kind of resolved all the questions that had come to us. How do we resolve conflicts when the other person is not willing to talk? We can't resolve conflicts when the other person is not willing to talk. Naren, how do you identify proper person with a lot of interaction? And also, how transparent is the other person willing to be? So you cannot have a Toyota-like arrangement without total transparency. Second, you are wanting to be very, very fair. You don't want the other person to be garib as they're dealing with. You enjoy them making a lot of money also in the process. At the same time, you are saving as much money as possible. So it requires a lot of fairness and complete transparency for you to identify the proper person. But I have nothing to hide. That kind of a relationship. Sometimes people are irritated if things are not done the way they only want. When you say no, a conflict is there, they always want a yes. Anil, that is why, if you remember 3 life lessons ago, we had discussed, let us learn to say a no without using the word no. I will come back to you. That's a beautiful idea. Or you can always say, and what are the other possibilities? The word and, one of the most powerful words in ending conflicts. It's not no, it's and. That's a good idea. And do we have more options? Most gracious people use the word and when they don't like something. So if I don't like what Bhavna is wearing, hey Bhavna, same to you. तू पास में नहीं है तो मैं तेरे को पिंच भी करता था, same pinch. You remember in childhood how we used to do same pinch? So let's say Bhavna is wearing something that I don't like and she asks me, Naren, is it good? I'll say, yeah, this is looking good. And what are the other options we have? Versus telling her, ये अच्छा नहीं है, दूसरा कोई option नहीं है. Use the word and. It ends the conflicts. Ends the conflicts. Same with my mom. Something. I think this must be with respect to 2-hour shopping versus 15 minutes on the app. Okay. How do I practice to let ego, fear, and anger go on a daily basis? When you have a bigger picture of what you want from life, when you count your blessings, when you understand so many things that are going right in life, it will be easy to let go of ego, fear, and anger. If I keep thinking about what is not okay, what is not okay, what is not okay in people, circumstances, and yourself, ego, fear, and anger will be there. How do I practice to let go? Acha ho gaya. When the other person is not willing to talk, then how do you deal with the situation? Be prepared. Okay, this conflict is going to be there. Let's focus on those things which are going beautiful in life. There are some conflicts you may not be able to solve. You have to learn how to deal with it. India has not been able to solve Pakistan for a long time. The conflict is always there. But we have learned how to deal with it and focus on the growth and development of India instead of harping about Pakistan. That's why India is growing brilliantly well and Pakistan is not. Because even today, Pakistan keeps harping about what is wrong about India. So there are enough things which is going right in life. Stay focused on that and maximize that. There are some things which is not right in your life. Let's learn how to handle it and minimize the damage. Are all of you in the listening frame of mind?
Yes.
Let me give you something very powerful, very, very powerful. And I'm really proud of this work that we have done. There is one factor called motivation, and there is another factor called style of operation. Motivation is the fuel, and style is the vehicle. Motivation is inside, style is my behavior. Now, if I have to make a 3x3 or a 4x3 grid, let me share with you 4 different kinds of motivation which makes people work. Either your source of motivation in life is security. You want to feel secure, you want to feel safe. Now, when my motivation in life is security, I will not take risk, I will not take chances. I will want to stay inside my comfort zone because that is the only place where you will feel secure. So even if a woman is abused in a marriage, she does not want to leave her husband and go away. Because even if it is bad, she feels in a very strange way secure because out there in the world, she does not know how more complicated things will be. So in contrast, she says, chalo koi baat nahi, rehne do, aaj nahi to kal sudhrenge. In this ummeed, she feels secure. So she takes violence, she takes exploitation, she takes disrespect. But she will never take a standpoint because taking a standpoint means becoming insecure. Now, some of you might complain to me again and again about my husband is not good. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. He disrespects me. He does not call me for family meetings. He never takes my permission for some major decision. He can spend crores of rupees, but if I have to spend a few thousand rupees, he becomes very wrong about me. He misbehaves with me. Anything wrong with my child, he always blames me and says, it's all because of you. I completely understand. Unfortunately, some might be married to a person who's seeking control, whose focus in life is control, whose motivation in life is control. But your motivation in life is security. So even if I tell you, darling, take a standpoint, you will say, नहीं, फिर उसको और गुस्सा आ जाएगा, फिर पता नहीं क्या हो जाएगा. And then for the next 5 years, you'll keep telling me he's not good enough. Or you know some people like this, who keep complaining about something is not okay in their life. But they keep holding on to security. They don't explore. They won't say, okay, I'm going to do it. They'll always say, uska support milta na to main bahut kar sakta. कभी वो बाप के नाम पे बोलते हैं, कभी भाई के नाम पे बोलते हैं, कभी मियां बीबी के नाम पे बोलते हैं, कभी किस्मत के नाम पे बोलते हैं. वो मेरे साथ होता ना, मैं बहुत करता था. So let's say a woman tells me, Naren, my husband does not support me. If my husband had supported me, I would have done a lot. And I asked that woman, so what you mean to say is widows in life have no future? So if there is no husband to support, you have no future, right? So first get rid of this nonsense inside your head that if one person does not support me, I can't do anything in life. You want the security of that support so that you can do things. Similarly, some people might say, बस मेरे को और कुछ नया नहीं करना है. I don't want to be more responsible now. I want not to take up anything on my shoulders now. बहुत हो गया, बहुत दिन से कर रहे हैं, बहुत साल से कर रहे हैं. Now I just want to feel secure. I want to repeat what I already know. There is a sense of security in the past. Change, growth, outside comfort zone, uncertainty is insecurity. So for some of us, the motivation in our life is security. For somebody else, the motivation in life is acceptance. People should like me. They should accept me. I end up pleasing people because I need acceptance. So when one of you asks this question, I know what I'm doing is wrong, but I still do it. And therefore I have conflicts. Yeah, at one end, you know your desires. At the other end, you want to please people. And why do I want to please people? When people are happy with me, maybe they'll see me as who I am. Maybe they will respect me. Maybe they will also appreciate me. Maybe they'll also say, ये बहुत अच्छी है और ये बहुत अच्छा आदमी है. So my motivation in life is acceptance. So therefore you will find people who don't have money will borrow 1 crore from the market and spend on their daughter's wedding, thinking if they show a lavish wedding, the society will accept them. Some of us wear brands and without a brand we won't get, and we also say we wear only brand. Because we believe when we wear that brand, it is easier for people to accept me. Some people may want to buy a flashy car or a huge house, not because they have plans to enjoy it, but because they think, I have come in a Benz or I have come in a BMW or an Audi. Now people will accept me that I am nice, I am good, I am smart, I am successful, etc., etc. Our motivation is acceptance. Therefore, we do things so that people will accept me. I'm not going today into what is the source of these motivations. I'm going to talk to you today about 4 sources of motivation for you to understand who you are. Now, when you understand who you are, it is easier for you to understand how to handle conflicts. And it is also easy for you to understand what kind of conflicts will be always there in life. And it is not because of the world outside. It is because of the sources of motivation that you have. Let's say, for example, I keep telling Vikas, you should expand. You should be more dynamic. We should have a much bigger organization. There should be so much work for Anurag that he should come to office at 8 and go back at 10 p.m. He should become a very, very hard worker. मतलब मेहनत ना उसके रग में भागना चाहिए. And he should be excited about the quality of work they're doing, the kind of people we are meeting, the kind of customers who are coming. मतलब एक electricity होना चाहिए atmosphere में. But let's say Vikas has his motivation in security. Then me and Vikas will always have conflicts on this matter. Or let's say Anurag is like this and Vikas wants Anurag to be very dynamic, powerful, hardworking. But Anurag says, धीरे धीरे, आराम से, अच्छे से करेंगे. तो जो चीज दुनिया 7 दिन में करती है, अनुराग 30 दिन लेता है, 2 महीना लेता है, 3 महीना लेता है. Because he wants to be very safe when he is doing it. His search in life, his motivation in life is security. And if Vikas says, be ambitious, चल थोड़ा fast काम कर, father and son will have conflicts. Now, fortunately, Vikas and Anurag both are धीरे धीरे करेंगे, हौले हौले करेंगे, कोई जल्दी नहीं है, आराम से करो. If both have their motivation in security, then there will be no conflicts. Then they are perfect for each other. Now, I'm not saying anything about whether security is right or whether the need for acceptance is right or wrong. I'm just saying understand who you are and therefore understand the kind of conflicts which will happen in our life. Because when a person, let's say the third thing is growth. When a person, their motivation is growth, like my motivation is growth. And what kind of growth? Meaningful, impactful growth. Let's say that is my motivation. Now, which means I'm very comfortable by being uncomfortable. I feel safe only when I'm outside comfort zone. And let's say that's my way of approaching life. And let's say in the organization, I have people who want to be secure now or who want complete acceptance. Then there will be tears, there will be clashes. And I would understand, यार गलत क्या हो रहा है? मैं growth की तो बात कर रहा हूँ, सबका तो भला होगा. And if they are saying, यार थोड़ा आराम करने दो, relax करने दो ना, बहुत मेहनत की है. मेहनत तो मैंने भी की है. But my motivation is growth. I'm finding purpose, meaning, impact. That's what motivates me. Which is what growth is all about. You and me will have conflicts if what you're searching for is only acceptance or security. And the fourth is power. Power. Some people's motivation is power. All these emperors who wanted to expand their kingdom, it was not about growth, because growth leads to always development. Cancer is also growth, but it leads to destruction. So all these emperors who wanted to conquer other places, like Great Britain, destroyed so many millions of people. Hitler destroyed. So it was not growth that they're seeking, it is power that they're seeking. Anybody who seeks power is seeking control, is seeking to dominate. Classic example, Putin right now. Vladimir Putin. Now this is where when things don't happen your way, you get irritated. Classic example of seeking power is things have to happen your way. If you're a perfectionist and you demand perfection from others, you seek power. Things have to happen your way. So 4 sources of motivation. What are those 4? We call it as GASP. GASP. Growth, acceptance, security, and power. And what is our style? We can have 3 different styles. 3 different styles. Style number 1, avoid. This is a style for many people. Avoid more responsibility, avoid complications, avoid fights. Our approach to life is bach ke raho. So let me share something with you. If my motivation is acceptance, and if my style is avoid, I always feel like a victim. I'm seeking acceptance, but I avoid coming outside my comfort zone to develop myself, grow, etc., 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 I will always feel like a victim. I avoid taking standpoints. I avoid doing what should be done. If my style is avoid, so let's say Chuparna tells me, Naren, I want a very beautiful identity for myself. And I give her 3 ideas. Darling, this is 1 thing you can do, 2 things you can do, 3 things you can do. And she says, no, if I do this, I won't be able to take care of Sai. If I do this, my husband might be very unhappy. If I do this, I don't know in a place like Sangola whether it will work or not. Now look at the thinking pattern. Avoid, avoid, avoid. And if the approach in life is, nobody accepts me, nobody likes me, nobody values me, not my brother, not my sister, not my father, not my children, not my husband, I can guarantee Suparna will always feel victimized. You just need to understand who you are to understand the kind of conflicts you will have in life. These are not 12 different conflicts. It has to be resolved 12 different ways. There is a motivation you have and there is a style that you have. And in this matrix, there are 12 possible kinds of conflicts, 4 by 3. So one style is avoid. The other style is assert, which means fight. So some people's style is fight. चिल्लाओ, झगड़ा करो, ब्लेम करो, आवाज ऊपर उठाओ, भिड़ जाओ. मतलब क्या नुकसान होगा, क्या होगा हम देख लेंगे, लेकिन बस भिड़ो. They are easy to be sarcastic. They are easy to put down other people. They are easy to disrespect others. Now, because they are assertive, sometimes they can be overachievers. They will also be restless in their life. And they also become control freaks. And somebody is assertive and wants power. Control freaks. Somebody is all dynamic, very assertive, and they're looking for security in life. Then you'll find them very restless. And if these people's need, their motivation in life is acceptance, then they will become hyperachievers. Hyperachievers. They can push themselves relentlessly. So first kind of style is avoid. The other is assert. And the third, very interestingly, is earn. Earn. Some people's style is, जो अपने को चाहिए ना, अपन कमाएंगे. So I want deep relationships, I will earn deep relationships. I want breakthroughs, I will earn my breakthroughs. I need respect, I will earn my respect. I need opportunities, I will earn my opportunities. I will need support, I will earn my support. Their sense of values and ethics is so strong. Before they demand something from the world, they make themselves capable of that. They don't believe in asking for what they are not ready for or what they are not good enough for. They like difficult situations because it shows them the scope of growth and they would like to earn it. Now, when your drive is to earn, and what you're looking for is growth, what you get is focus. Your motivation is growth. Your style is earn. Tremendous focus. If your motivation is acceptance and you want to earn it, you're patient and you plan very well. Now, anybody whose style is, I want to earn it, they are the best people to handle conflicts. They never allow conflicts to become internal. Conflict gives them a source of indications towards progress for the present and the future. Every conflict to them is an opportunity to grow. So conflict doesn't shake them. Conflicts actually give them clarity. And that is the most beautiful way to handle conflicts. Every time there is a conflict in my life, imagine I'm not seeing it as something right or wrong, should or would. I'm not behaving like a victim. यार मेरे साथ ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए था, गलत होना चाहिए था, गलत हो रहा है मेरे साथ. ये सब का टाइम ही नहीं. I want to earn everything in my life. So every conflict becomes an opportunity for me to become better or to get what I want in life. It gives me an opportunity to look at my values and decide that are these the values I want to live by, or do I need to tweak them? Look at conflicts as opportunities. Easy for you if your style is earning what you want in life. I think we have had a beautiful life lesson today. I wish and pray that you had some insights which will help you to handle some conflicts in life. I'm going to create this tool properly and I'll share it with you probably in the next life lesson. A 4x3 matrix which shows 4 sources of motivation: growth, acceptance, security, and power. And 3 styles with which I respond to life: assert, earn, or avoid. Can you see how different these 3 styles are? Assert is kind of fight, insist. Avoid is kind bhago. And earn is today let me do something by which I become better so that tomorrow I get what I want. I'll create a very beautiful 4x3 matrix. Wherever possible, I'll also write down the results which happens in each quarter. And I'll share it with you, most probably in the next life lesson. Now, in case there is any topic on which you want me to speak or something that you want me to take in life lessons, send me a message. Let me know. Sooner or later, I'll make it into an entire concept and share with you in life lessons. Thank you, darlings. Wish you all the best. Let's not wish each other a conflict-free life, but let's wish each other a life where conflict becomes huge opportunities for us to grow. Like they say, without friction, movement is not possible. Similarly, without conflicts, clarity sometimes is not possible. All the best. Love you all and have a great week.